welcome back. Today's video is going to be testing new makeup. I have lots of products here, some high-end, some drugstore, lots of new goodness that we are going to be testing out. So why don't we go ahead and get started. Alright, so like I said, I've got lots of new products to test out today. I have this eyeshadow palette here from BUXOM. I have the new Huda Beauty setting spray. I have the hydrating foundation from ColourPop. We also have a palette from OFRA. I have some goodies from REVLON. So lots of new products today to test out. So let's go ahead and get started. So something I've been doing in my routine is actually toning before I do my makeup. I'm not really sure if you're like technically supposed to do this, but I've been noticing a big difference in my makeup application when I do this. So I've just been using this one here from BELIF, and I'll just go in and kind of tone my face really quickly before I go in with my makeup. I just find that like my pores look cleaner, everything just looks nicer. All the makeup sits really nice on top of it. I've also been using this eye cream. I talked about it in my favorites video. I talked about it in IG stories. I love it. It's from First Aid Beauty. It's their niacinamide eye cream. And I've just been using this really quickly before I start my makeup as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I typically just do both of these things right before I start my routine. Okay, so for complexion, I have this new foundation here from ColourPop. This is really exciting because their no filter foundation is like super matte, and I don't like love that one when it comes to my preferences. And then we have the Pretty Fresh hydrating like tinted foundation, and that one for me is like a little too light, so I kind of just like was like hoping they would come out with a hydrating foundation because that's kind of my sweet spot when it comes to foundation. So I'm excited to try this one. So it's the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. It's supposed to be like a natural finish on the skin, nice and hydrating. I'm really excited about it. I got mine at Ulta, and I got the shade 45 Warm. I think I should have got a neutral shade, but we're gonna try this one out and see how it works on the skin. They do have a select amount of shades available at Ulta now, and then I believe when they launch at ColourPop, there's going to be, I think, 42 shades total, so a nice shade range in this. So anytime I try out new complexion products, I just like to use a primer that I typically use. I've been trying to use this one up here from MAYBELLINE. It's their Baby Skin No Erase, or what is this called? The Instant Pore Eraser. And I've had this one for a long time, and I'm really just trying to use it up, but since I've been using it, I've really been enjoying it, and I don't know to say I'll repurchase because I really am trying to be better about using up a lot of my products, but it's a really good one if you haven't tried it. It's affordable, really nice. I highly recommend that. So I kind of just put that right here in the pore area, and I try not to like mix any like primers or anything that I don't typically do with a new foundation. That way we can kind of try it out. So I am going to go ahead and get started with this. I'm just going to apply it with a sponge, so I'm going to go ahead and put out a few pumps here and hope. Okay, that might not be so bad. There's the color right there. Actually, probably is a pretty good color match. We'll see. And I'm just going to pick that up on my sponge and begin to apply it onto my face. And it looks like the coverage is actually pretty good off the bat. Like, it's more than I thought it was going to be. I thought I might have to build it up like a tiny bit. So I might be good with just like one layer of this. And actually this shade is like pretty good for me. I'm surprised because I always have issues with the ColourPop No Filter foundation. I have used so many of those, and I can never ever find my shade. I don't know what it is, but I just like have the hardest time. So I'll be pretty surprised if this like actually ends up matching. But definitely a little bit is going to go a long way with this because I feel like I only like did a little bit of this and I already have pretty good coverage going on. So I do feel like it could probably be like a hint darker actually. I've been getting a lot of sun lately with like being outside and everything. So I do think it could be a tiny bit darker, but I don't think it's terrible once I bronze and everything. I think it'll look pretty good. So looking up at it up close, it actually looks really good. This again is only one layer. I'm going to add a little bit more to like a few spots, like just to cover these moles and such. So it's definitely a little bit buildable. And all in all, it looks pretty good on my skin. I feel like my pores look pretty good. And the actual like luminosity of it is pretty good. Like, it doesn't look like drying or anything. It looks pretty good on my skin. So I'm just going to go ahead and run it down my neck since it is a little bit light for me. So I'm just going to go in with my normal concealer. This is the Too Faced Born This Way. I've been trying to get through this one as well. Let me know if you guys would want to see me do like a project pan. I've been like kind of working on one like behind the scenes on my own without like filming it. There's just a few products that I've been trying to work through and just be better about like using up everything that I have. I mean, I'll never use probably all of the makeup that I have, but just better about using up products and kind of rotating through to other products instead of like buying new ones all the time. So that's something I've been trying to do. I thought about doing like a project pan, but now it's kind of late in the year, and I feel like at this point it's like pretty late to be doing one, so I kind of feel like maybe next year I'll do one with you guys. Let me know though, I could do like a unannounced one and just show you guys like, you know, what I've been working on. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of that down below. And I definitely can do an empties video because I have been working through quite a few of my products, so I will be doing that one soon. So concealer wise, looks like it's sitting pretty nicely on the foundation. You can even see that this concealer is even darker, so the shade is definitely a little off for me. Hopefully even maybe it'll oxidize and it'll be like the perfect match, although I typically don't like it when my foundations do that, so hopefully it kind of does and it doesn't. I am going to try the Juno & Co, or I'm not going to try this, I'm going to use this. I really like this powder. It's their blurring powder, and I'm just going to put this on my under eyes, and I'm going to use the same sponge and just go ahead and tap this over the concealer. I like this because you can just like press your product or press your brush right in there. So I'm just setting really quickly my under eyes, and then we'll move on to the new OFRA palette. And next I have this new palette here from OFRA. This one is called the Sweet Electric palette, and inside of here you have 3 different shades. We have the Cocoa Bronzer, we also have the Blissful Highlight, and then in the middle the Crazy Pink Blush. So I'm going to use all 3 of these. This is actually on sale right now on the OFRA's website. It's only $29. If you use a coupon code, it's only $23. I do have one with them, so if you're interested, my coupon code is just Makeup Molly, and it will save you on this one along with anything over on OFRA's website. It's 20%, so anything you want to get on there. I know they're having a ton of sales right now, but I just wanted to try this out and see how it goes. I know I love the Cocoa Bronzer. I've tried that before. I've also tried this highlight, so it's kind of just like everything in one, which I appreciate. So we're going to dip into the Cocoa Bronzer right here, and I'm going to tap off my excess because these seem to be, or they normally are, pretty pigmented, and I remember the shade being pretty pigmented. And I'm actually not going to set this foundation because I kind of want to see how it wears without setting it. So I'm kind of just going to begin to work this onto my cheeks. And anytime I don't set my foundation, I'm very careful about how I'm placing this. So I kind of just set it down and then slowly like work it up so it doesn't disrupt the foundation. I feel like if you go in with like a heavy hand, you're going to get like the skipping and everything. So kind of just slowly work this into the skin. I really love this color though. I think it's really nice. The one that I have it in, and I believe is a duo, like they have a duo that has this shade and then another shade in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Just slowly work this into the skin. So as the foundation's drying a little bit, I am noticing it kind of separating a little in this area. My skin is a little bit drier on my nose right now, but it's not that dry. Like I just did my foundation yesterday with the one from Purlisse, their BB cream, and I didn't notice the dry patches at all. So I don't know if that's the foundation or if my skin is just acting up. I've got this little guy right here on my chin that wants to make an appearance, so it might just be my skin being weird, but I'm not loving the way it is sitting on my nose. Hopefully we can fix that with a little bit of bronzer here. Sometimes that'll help a little bit, but it's probably gonna move. Yeah, it's kind of like sliding off my nose a little. I'm not sure what that's about. Okay, so now we're gonna try the blush shade, and I'm just gonna grab a little bit of this Juno Co brush right here and apply that. And I'm just been in love with blush lately. I like this color. It's kind of like a more like mauve-y pink. It's pretty subtle, but it's also pretty pigmented. Like that looks really pretty, I like that. And now we're going to go into the Blissful Highlight, and this one is a little bit deeper for my skin tone, but I can make it work. I just have to go in with a light hand. So I'm just applying that right there, and as you can see, like it looks nice. It's just one of those ones you kind of have to be very light with if you do have more of a fairer skin tone. OFRA has one of my favorite highlighting formulas. I just feel like they are so pigmented and just beautiful on the face. A little bit definitely goes a long way with these. Alright, so I went ahead and applied my brows off camera. I just used the JOAH brow pencil that I love, and I also put a little bit of the Undercover concealer from CoverGirl on just to prep my eyes for shadow. So we're going to be going in with the BUXOM XTROVERT palette right here. They just sent this over. This is new to BUXOM, and it has a really fun color story. It's very different. You have like this pop of yellow in here, this mint, and then you have some like more everyday shades with like this pink shade, the red, but then you also have a blue, so it's kind of a fun, different palette. And BUXOM, I like their eyeshadows, but they're not always my favorite, so I'm very curious to try this one out and see what I think of it. And then I actually have some brushes I'm going to be trying out here from Real Her. They sent over a package that had just some different brushes in it, so I'm going to be trying these out as well. So I think to start, I'm going to go in with the shade Remix right here, and I'm going to use that in my crease. And these seem powdery, like off my first dip here. And I didn't set my concealer or anything, so I'm kind of just gonna set this down and then begin to blend it in. This brush actually feels pretty soft. It doesn't feel scratchy or anything, which I appreciate. So we're just gonna lightly work this shade into my crease. I don't want it too intense because I think I want to go in with the mint shadow, and I want just like a light wash of color. Okay, so I am gonna go into that mint shade up next. I'm gonna try that shade out. I'm just very curious about this one. I'm not gonna tap off my excess because I think that this one's gonna be more of a powdery shade. I'm just gonna start to tap it on my lid. I don't see names on these brushes. It just says I embrace change on these, which I think is really cool. They have that message with some of their products, so I think that that's awesome. So I'm kind of just using a tapping motion with this. Sometimes I feel like when it comes to pastel shades, they work best if you kind of just tap them on instead of like blending them out, because I think that they kind of disappear. So I always try to do that with these type of products, and then lightly blend it in the crease. Kind of an update on the foundation. I do feel like my pores aren't looking the best they've ever looked. Like I can definitely see it's kind of sitting on my skin weird, so I don't know what that's about. I was really hoping to love this foundation. Again, this is just like a first impressions, first like testing new stuff, so always come back and I'll let you guys know what I think of the products in like a favorites and a fails, but so far I'm not like that impressed with it at this moment. Okay, that actually looks really nice over the lid. Like I feel like this would be just a look right here. I think it would be nice. I'm gonna try out the shade Rare though, this deeper blue, and kind of work this in the outer edge. This is a shimmer shade, but I think it will look nice just layered just on the outer corner here. I am getting a small amount of fallout with the shade, so just keep that in mind. I can see it just like falling out right here. Yeah, do you see how that other shade is kind of like disappearing? That's what I meant when it comes to like these pastel shades. I don't know why they do that. I hate that about like pastels. Let me know if you guys have that issue, or maybe it's just like me, but I always feel like when I use pastel shades, they kind of disappear. And I don't think that this one is really layering well on top of that because of that. Like it really is just making it disappear. We're also getting quite a bit of fallout at this point. Okay, I'm almost wishing I didn't do that because I'm gonna have to keep like applying this other shade here over top, and now I just feel like it's not looking the best. So I'm gonna add a tiny bit. I'm gonna stop there because it's just gonna make it worse. I'm gonna add a little bit over on this side just so we are kind of matching here, but I don't love that over top of this other shade. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just dust away that fallout. Because it was a blue though, it's not really going anywhere. It's kind of leaving like a little bit of a shadow right here. You can kind of still see it. I'm gonna do the lower lash, and I think for that, I'm going to actually go into the yellow shade because I want to try that one out. And when we do like a fun pop of yellow maybe on the lower lash line. And yellow's kind of the same way. When it comes to those shades, I feel like they work best when you kind of just tap them on. I'm not going to bring it all the way to the inner corner. I'm going to just kind of put it right here. I'm not loving this outer corner. I just feel like it looks messy, and it also just keeps disappearing here. I'm like literally reapplying the shade, but I don't think there is any like saving it at this point. I'm going to go into the shade Opal right here. This is Opalescent. That's a mouthful right there. And I'm going to apply this shade to the inner corner. This one kind of has like a blue hint to it, and see how that one looks here. Yeah, that one shade is really pretty. It has like a blue shift, but it's still like icy. Okay, so here is the eye look. I don't really think it's going to get much better. I hate how this outer corner is looking. It looks like messy to me and a little bit sloppy, but we kind of just have to go with it at this point. I am going to add some mascara really quickly and see if that doesn't help it a little. So for mascara, I went in with the CoverGirl Exhibitionist. This is one of my favorites. I'm still not super happy with this eye look, and I also feel like this shade is kind of fading the more it's sitting here on my eyes. So I'll keep you guys updated like in a pinned comment if it did like totally disappear. But we are going to try out next some products from Revlon. So they sent over their new collaboration with Sofia Carson. So I'm going to try out one of the matte lipsticks. The packaging on these looks really nice. There are 4 different colors. We have 2 reds and then 2 nudes a part of the collection. So I'm going to actually use this shade right here. It's called Untold Stories. And I'm going to open this one. This one looks like the most that's like right down my alley when it comes to nude shades. I always hate how drugstore, not really drugstore, but I feel like it's more popular in the drugstores for them to put the labels like right over top of where you need to open it. Like I just feel like that's such a waste because I have to like tear it off and twist it. It's like a whole thing. Okay, so I literally had to get tweezers to remove that. Now, like, the lid is all sticky here, but we're gonna try this out and let's see what it looks like. Yeah, so this is like my kind of nude shade. It looks very matte. Here's what it looks like. I'll swatch it because I kind of want to see what it looks like. Ooh, the formula looks really nice too. So here is what that color right there looks like, and this one is called Untold Story. So I am going to line my lips first before we use this one. For a lip liner, I'm just going in with the nude lip liner from COCO. I've talked about these. I really love their lip liners. Definitely applied nicely, and it is looking pretty matte. I do like the color a lot here, and again, I love the packaging. I think it's so cute. Okay, and now we're going to try, lastly, the Glow Cocoa Hydrating Mist. This is from Huda Beauty. This is brand new, so it says that you can use this one to kind of prep. You can also use it to set, freshen up throughout the day, and I'm very interested to try this. Ooh. Okay, it has a very fine mist, which I appreciate in my sprays, so let's go ahead and spray this one to set my face. Ooh, I love the mister. I feel like I applied like a gallon of that, but smells really nice too. It has a nice fragrance to it. Huda Beauty always, I feel like, has fragrance to her products. I don't always love that, but this one has like a nice scent. It's not like super overpowering like some of her other ones, like her foundation and her powders even like have like a very strong scent. This one just feels like a kind of like a coconut, like beachy kind of scent to it, and it felt really hydrating. I liked the mist on there, so we'll see if it makes the makeup kind of last. So getting into my thoughts on everything, I feel like this wasn't my favorite first impressions, like I have to be honest. The eyeshadow look I don't love. I also feel like we got quite a bit of fallout with those shades, so I'm like still seeing like this little blue patch right here under my eye. I don't love that blue shade that we had in our outer corner, and I also feel like this shade was kind of hard to, it is also disappearing. Like I can definitely tell that throughout this time. It's like not on there as vibrant, and that could be because it is one of those pastel shades like I said. So I will continue to try that palette out and see what I think. I did really like the inner corner shade. I thought that that shade was really pretty, so I'll just have to try that again. I liked the yellow and just kind of play with it different ways and see what I think. The OFRA palette I did really like though. I thought it looks really pretty on the cheeks. I love just like that blushy bronze. I just think it's a really nice combo. The ones that they picked for this palette, I think it's perfect. I love how small it is too. I love these little small palettes from them. The foundation, I wanted to love it. Like I really wanted to come on here and be like, this is amazing, because I had such high hopes for it. But honestly, looking at my skin, I feel like it's looked better. My pores still look pretty large. I feel like it's still kind of pillowing a little on my nose. And I also feel like as it's sitting here more, like my smile lines are looking more prominent. And I feel like I didn't apply like that much. Like I put like a pump, so it's not more than I usually would, and with like one layer. I don't feel like it should be looking like this. You guys will have to let me know what you think, but just like up close, I just think it doesn't look like the best on me. So I'll continue to try it out though with like different primers and things and see if it's something that I did that maybe, you know, tomorrow I'm gonna love it. Sometimes that does happen. So there is that. And then the lip color feels really comfortable. I think the color was really nice. I'm excited to try out the rest of those lipsticks. And then Huda Beauty Mist, I will continue to try that one out, but I do think that the mist on it was really nice and it smells really good. So that is always a plus in my book. But let me know down below what you guys thought about these products that we tested and the final look. And like I said, I'll try to keep you updated in a favorites and fails video in the future. Comment down below any new products that you guys have tried, because I'm always looking for new products to test out. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, friends.